Hey, can we talk about windows in our Hyperadobe house?
What would you like to talk about
So,
them?
guys, sometimes I feel like we don't explain things well enough, and then I don't know. These windows back here are not the only windows that we're putting in the
Wait, have
house.
they seen that video?
Yeah, they saw us. You saw them. They saw you building the windows, and
Have we
oh
put out the video of putting them in?
no,
Oh, okay. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so behind.
scoot over just a little. Okay, so uh, yeah, we had a lot of people that seem to think that these are the only windows that we're putting in our round house.
Yep, just 4.
I don't know why. Like, there's lots of windows going in the house. I promise. There's gonna be lots of
We
light,
have to
lots of
wait
views.
until the walls are built up where the windows go in
These particular windows just happen to be the tallest windows
and the lowest.
and the lowest windows, and so that's why they got to go in first. But
Yeah.
yes, we're building lots more windows. Also, the other thing people were asking about was, will there be outlets on the outside of the house,
Yeah.
electrical outlets? Of course there will be. They go on the next level. Um, yeah, listen,
We've been planning this for several
we
years.
got it, guys. I promise. Like, we know you need outlets on the outside of your house. It just makes me laugh sometimes. So
Does it make you laugh?
it does make me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can laugh.
I'm just like imagining myself running around the outside of the building, like trying to plug something in, and it won't. There's no plugs.
We got it, guys. So yes, we will have a lot more windows, obviously. So many windows.
And so many outlets, and so many, yeah, lots of things to come.
One layer at a time.
We've just been working on this one. That is the really difficult thing about building a hyper adobe house, is that you really have to pay attention to what layer you're on, right? So, and it's really hard to keep track because sometimes you just want to come out and lay bags and you're like, oh crap, something was supposed to go on that layer. I forgot. Like water spigots. Like, we almost forgot about water spigots. Like, we got to make
Just
sure
don't
we
go
do
in
that
yet.
soon.
We're getting there. Getting to each level and different things happening.
Yeah.
It is pretty exciting to see windows in and know what's coming next.
I know. If someone just said more windows means less bag, and that is true, but
That's
it
not always a good thing.
but it also means it slows you down a lot because you got to start that bag, stop it, tamp it, and then start, stop, tamp, and so you really like kind of lose that rhythm when you're laying just like a really long bag, and so yeah, it's pros and cons. It's less bag, but it's a lot more fiddly, and it's a lot more stopping and starting. Um, speaking of laying earth bags, or the whole point of this live
Oh yeah, I
is,
forgot the whole point.
man,
I'm sorry.
you're out of it
I'm
this
like
morning.
very distracted. Yes, guys, guess what?
The
Do you want to say it?
you should say it.
No, you couldn't say it.
You should say it.
Okay, guys, we're having a Hyperadobe Workshop in November. And instead of working on another side project and getting sidetracked again, we're going to be working on our house.
This right here, what you're looking at, you get to help us build it.
We're opening up our workshop dates. They're in November.
November 9th through the 15th. If you go to the description of this video, there's a link in there that you can click, and you can go sign up right this second if you want. Till the end of the week, we're keeping a 5% off coupon, early bird sign up, just as a way to say thank you for helping us fill spots early and know how many people we got coming. But we're going to be talking about what the workshop actually is going to be like today, because I feel like when we do little snippets, in like our other videos, and we're like, hey, we're going to do a workshop, it's kind of hard to like really get in the details of like everything that's probably going to go on. So we're just going to take a little time today and talk about that. Talk about what a workshop looks like here on the property.
Also, this is something that we've, like, obviously, we went back and forth on, do we want people helping with our house or not? We are going to have to be picky on this workshop. Like, we're going to be on every detail and making sure everybody's doing things the way that we would do them.
Yeah,
Like,
excellence is important,
yeah,
especially when you're building your family home.
there's gonna be a lot of training and teaching, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, yeah. Right. The goal of a workshop is not necessarily to
Get
make a
ahead.
lot of progress on the build, because we don't want to move too fast. We want to make sure that we're doing a good job, but also that we're teaching, right? That we're teaching people how to do it the right way. And that just takes time when you need to take that individual one-on-one time. And so yeah, a lot of people think like we're trying to get free labor or whatever. Like, it's not really that. We could probably do it faster ourselves, honestly. Like, we're pretty dialed in with all six of us and being able to lay bags. But we know that a lot of people want to learn how to build this way, right? And so hands-on experience, you can watch a video all day, but there's just something about that hands-on experience.
And you need to feel like, especially like when you're tamping the bags, you need to feel when the tamping is done, and there's just certain little things that you'll be able to do and know, okay, that's how that works. And yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
absolutely.
details.
And also as part of this, and I think we mentioned this when we did the Superadobe workshop with Hayden, is that we never really done a long form workshop before. We'd only done like 1-2 days, something like that. And so having that full week, we really saw how people started coming together and sort of forming this little community. And
Like good friendships too.
it was really
Like,
pretty special. It was really cool. And, everyone was working together towards a common goal. And so by doing this as a 7-day workshop, that's kind of the goal with this, is like, we can't replicate Hayden's magic.
no.
We'll do our best, but what we want to do is sort of replicate some of that community feeling that really grew out of this. Like, we still talk to people from the Super Adobe workshop. Somebody came by the other day, and like they still talk to each other, and like it's really neat, like the friendships that formed as part of this. So yeah, it's not just about laying bags, it's about being part of something a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like, I'm excited about it. I'm a little bit nervous just because I have a lot of, like, this is something we're going to do different. Last workshop, I was in charge of the food, right? 2 meals a day, lots of, like, that's a big
It
responsibility.
was a lot, yeah.
So this year we're going to have some help, and we're going to have previous people who have been here for workshops come back, and they're going to help us train and teach and explain things and help us with food. So I think it's going to run a lot smoother and a little bit less on my plate.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. And the other thing, when we did the workshop with Hayden, it was really great because he ran the teaching part of it,
instruction,
and we were kind of running logistics. But since he's not here, we
I
need some
know.
help running the
Hayden,
logistics.
come back. Can we have Hayden come for the week? That would
I
be
wish
so awesome.
He said he wanted to come, but
I
he is on the other side of the world.
Maybe he could
so.
find last minute flights. Come on, Hayden.
For $8,000.
Just a week.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, November 9th through the 15th, good weather time. It should be, it'll be cold in the morning. It'll warm up nicely in the afternoon. Hopefully we'll have some clouds.
Done with snakes, hopefully, by then.
Yeah, most of the bugs will be gone. It's a really good time of year. And we're not just doing Hyperadobe bags, though.
We're not?
No.
What else are we doing?
Well, I mean, we don't want to bring you out here and just make you slave away for 7 full days. Like, we're also going to do some talks and some tours, different educational things that we'll teach you about besides just laying bags. Like, we're going to, look at rainwater catchment and solar and permaculture, berm swale stuff, which video coming soon on that. I know you guys have been asking about it. Update on the berm swale soon. What else are we going to talk about? Gardening.
I don't know.
Maybe. I thought your garden did good last year.
No, I'm saying I don't know what we're talking about.
You haven't looked at the schedule?
Guys. I looked at it a long time ago, but I can't remember what else was on there.
Yeah. So,
I think maybe one day, if we want, we could do a hike in the evening. If we have,
that would
we're
be
not
fun.
too exhausted, let's do a little field trip.
A field trip.
That'd be fun.
Cochise County
or
field trip.
We could go to a field trip to somebody else's build that's out here. That would be cool.
Yeah, that could be cool too.
and see how
Things are
done.
still evolving a little bit.
Hopefully we have little side quests that we can go do together.
Yeah, it'd be good. But also, let's go back to food.
Oh.
Because you make delicious food.
Yeah.
And I feel like the food is probably a bigger draw than the Hyperadobe, to be
No,
honest
it's
with
not.
you. That's what I feel like. I
No,
feel like people come, they're like,
nobody
oh,
comes for
Ashley's
you.
making food. I need to get over there.
I mean, it was pretty good last time.
It was real good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was real
we
good.
will make sure everybody is fed extremely well and happy, and snacks and drinks.
Lots
all the
of water
things.
and shade and breaks and all that stuff for
Yeah.
sure. I will say though, if you're thinking about coming, it's a lot of physical labor.
Very physical.
It's a very physical thing. And by that point, we might be up a little bit higher. And so there's heights involved at that point. And so those are things I feel like we need to sort of preface and be like, if you're going to come, just make sure that you feel like you're comfortable doing those things, right? For decent periods of time, because we're going to be out here smashing bags,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Should we also mention the roads, like how the tires, like our last workshop, there was 4 flat tires from people that came. So maybe have a good vehicle if you're coming.
Guys, drive slow on the dirt roads.
Very slow.
Just drive slow on dirt and watch out for cows.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Guys, we're going to be working on our house. This is the first, we've had like a few people come and help for a little bits of time.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be like a big team that's coming to help. Like, we have potential to make big progress.
We do have potential to make it. I don't know.
Like towards the end of the week. The beginning of the week is always like,
that's true.
How do we do this? Make sure everything's fine tuned. And then like the last 3 days are typically the days where we make big progress.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
I'm a little worried that your phone is going to overheat.
Oh,
soon. We may have to move to a shaded area. We may need to relocate. Here in a minute.
You want to go over there?
Yeah, we'll go over there in just a second. So the other thing is, we're doing 15 people each day, and there are 10 spots open for the people that want to come the entire week. So if you come the entire week, it's obviously a lot cheaper than if you just come an individual day. 10 people get the full 7 days, and then there are 5 additional spots open on each day. If it's obviously, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time. We totally understand if you can't make it the whole week and you just want to drop in for a day or a couple of days. You can come as an individual or a couple, and all that stuff is in the form when you go to that link and you sign up. Yes, question?
I think we need to move real quick, or we're going to lose people with the heat.
Okay. Guys, we're going to move.
We're going to have to, I'm sorry. It's sunny and hot.
And, well, it's just that the sun is like hitting the full brunt of the phone, and it's just going to overheat. So, yeah.
Let's go to the shade over
We're just you're going to move with us.
I'm sorry.
And it's going to get a little jiggly. Hold on. Here we go. Walking slowly.
Don't show too much.
I don't want to make anybody sick while we're moving. Is there anywhere else we can go besides the shed?
No, it's like the only shed.
As we only really have one good, like, shady spot to record stuff in the morning, and that's behind the solar shed. So that's where we're going. Down the berm. Ooh. Oh no, I can't get through.
Help you.
Hold on, guys.
I'm so sorry. Move your hand. Okay, let's try this again. Shaded.
Hey, we made it. All right.
Look at that.
That's
I should
so
have brought
much
my jacket
nicer over here.
Okay, what were we saying? We were saying that it's a 7-day workshop. 10 spots for the entire week. And then we're opening, each day has 5 additional spots that you can come and go if you want to have like 1 day or 2 days.
Right, yeah. And we do have sort of a preliminary schedule on the site that you can look at. I will say that schedule is not set in stone. So
yeah, we might be adding to it.
We might be adding, we might be changing. So, like, we've tried to give you an idea of like what we'll either be teaching or talking about each day, or what we'll be working on each day. So if you're trying to pick a day based on that, just know that it might change a little bit. If there's something like very specific you need to know, we will do our best to accommodate if you pick that day and we ended up doing it a different day. Yeah, it's all a little loosey-goosey, you know? It's difficult wrangling a project this size.
I'm hoping that at the point of the workshop, we'll be at the stage where we'll be adding more window frames and some other little niches. We're going to be making niches.
Niches?
To put in. They're not window frames, but they're holes in the bag that we need to place at certain points for very cool things that are coming later.
So vague.
No,
oh
I'm not.
My goodness.
Well, it's like, you know, in the hallway on the kids' bedroom size, there's going to be little niches that are bottle bricks and shelves.
So maybe niches aren't the right word.
It's a niche.
Okay, maybe it is.
It is.
When I think of the word niche, I think of like a market segment, like a thing, like a topic that you've chosen. Like our niche is Hyperadobe earthbags.
No. But also in a shower, if you have a little inset thing with a shelf, it's a niche.
Stuff. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I've just never heard it used that way.
Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure it's called a niche.
A little shelf in the earthbags.
Well, it's like a big form. Because I'm going to do bottle bricks. It's going to be cool. Guys, I have lots of plans to make little things here and there. It's not just windows.
We want to make it special.
Yeah.
You know?
We're going to be taking time to make little art installations. Like, you know how you don't want to see outlet covers in a hallway? You want to see little fairy doors, don't you?
Here we go. Are we going to talk about fairy doors?
Instead of outlets, it would be so much cuter to see fairy doors. And then you open the door and there's an outlet.
Someone said they're also called nooks. That was the word I was thinking of, was a nook.
I'm pretty sure you can also call them niches.
It's very possible.
If you look at the Schluter system for showers, I'm pretty sure it's called a niche.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
No, you're probably right.
I probably am.
The wonderful thing about the English language
is so many
there's
words.
Plenty of words for a thing.
What else could they be called? Holes in the wall.
Insets. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We're just making this up as we go.
Okay, guys. What else do we need to talk about? We've already talked about the workshop.
We talked about the workshop a little bit. I feel like I should probably say what the link is real quick, even though it's in the description, because sometimes YouTube's really good at hiding the descriptions.
You have to know.
They don't want you to go anywhere else when you're here. So hold on. I believe it is tinyshinyhome.com/Hyperadobe-workshop. I know. That's why I put it in the description. I know.
That's a lot of things to type.
It's there. Yeah. We will do our best to. We'll probably put it on the home page here. Once we get off, we'll link it up so that it's easy to get to. Anyway, let's talk about something else for a bit. What do you say?
Like what? What do you want to talk about, babe?
Well, I think there's questions that we can answer.
Okay. You have your phone to do that?
Do you want to look at questions?
No.
No.
It takes me a long time to scroll through them, so you can find them quicker than I can.
Hold on. Let me see. Who's got a question?
Cat is being so cute over there,
Where is
rolling around in the dirt.
Oh, the kittens are getting so big. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I wish I would have got a picture of them the last time when they were sitting up on the dome looking like gargoyles. Is that the right word?
Gargoyles?
Okay. So how about those questions?
Hey, I'm almost there. Hold
Okay.
on.
What are we doing today, babe?
I don't think we can talk about that, can we? We're going on a trip, a short trip into a town to do some stuff.
Okay.
There you go. All right, guys, I'm backing up to the beginning. I'm going to answer your questions.
Okay.
The first question is, what is the white light behind you? That was the sun earlier.
We installed lights.
Will we be using tempered glass and windows placed less than 18 inches above your floor? We will not have any windows that low.
They're above 18 inches.
Yeah.
We do some research, guys. We do a lot of research to find out things that we need to know. And let me talk about the windows, because a lot of people were like, well, there was two things. Can I talk about these windows?
What about the windows?
Some people thought we put them in wrong. They should be turned the other way.
Oh, horizontally? I mean, we are going to put in a cool horizontal window later, but not there.
No. Yeah. Again, we have been planning this house for how long?
Yeah.
3 years?
Long time.
So we know exactly what we want to be looking at when we place these windows. We have very set ideas of why we want the windows, where we want them, and it will all make sense when the house is done and all the decor is there and the cool features are there.
Yeah.
I know it looks a little weird to have like that big space in between the floor window frames, but
yeah, there's something going in the middle of all that we haven't really talked about, so that's part of the plan. And then also, the thing you got to remember is if you put in too many forms, then you're, putting the wall at a disadvantage of losing its strength because you're breaking it up too often. And so that's the thing you have to be really careful about with earth bags when you're putting in doors or windows and especially with the circle, because it becomes very difficult when you're laying a small part of a circle to keep that curve right and to keep your forms plumb, to make sure that your wall doesn't start going one way or the other, because once it starts doing that, then you're in a really dangerous situation. So there's space specifically so that there is a certain amount of bag in between them to stay safe, essentially. That's the idea.
And because that's where we want them.
And that's where we want them. Yes, that too. All right, looks like you're right. It is niche.
Hey,
hey.
See, I know words.
I know.
Sometimes.
I just never heard
Sometimes I do say the wrong thing. There was a basic word the other day that you said I was saying wrong. Especially. I thought it was especially.
Especially?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Which is why I spell it wrong every time I type it.
We got a nasty comment here. You want to talk about it?
Sure.
I'm a little spicy today.
Let's air it out.
Hey, Johnny D. How you doing? You said, why is it taking so long to build your house? All you seem to do is talk and no work.
Wow.
Okay, bud. Okay, bud. Whatever.
Guys, there's some pros and cons about putting what you're doing on the internet.
People can be
really mean.
Yeah.
People have put me in bed for days. People have said really mean stuff.
Yeah, the internet can be an awful place. Most of you all are great and we love you, but some of you are not very nice.
Yeah, guys, also, this is our job.
It's true.
Talking and showing you progress on our projects. Heck yeah, we could get so much done so much faster if we didn't set up to record, edit what we record, post what we record, respond to comments. Guys, we could get a lot more done if we didn't have a job. But guess what? We have to pay bills.
Yeah. There's some discussion about Spanish subtitles. Guys, we don't have anything to do with subtitles. YouTube will add them later after we're done, but they can't translate live on the fly, at least not yet.
Probably soon.
Probably soon with AI stuff. I would assume that they'll probably start doing that soon, but you'll just have to watch the live as a replay if you want to see what we're saying. We do not have a team of translators, unfortunately. It's just us. We don't know how to do that. Let's see.
Did Ruth Turner just sign up for
Ruth Turner just signed up.
Ruth Turner!
She's coming to the Hyperadobe Workshop. I just got a little notification on my phone. That's how I know. Sorry if you didn't want people to know.
Well, we're excited, Ruth. We're excited to have you come.
A shelf is another word.
Well,
shelf,
it's not.
nook,
It's more.
niche.
It's more than a shelf. It's like a big open area. The bottom is a shelf, but the top has bottle bricks and beautiful things.
Yeah. Ashley makes everything beautiful.
I try.
She's a
Guys,
talented artist.
there's a lot of things that I want to do that Jonathan's saying that would
Hey,
take too
what-
much time.
what? Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Some of it.
I want everything to be an art installation. Everybody that when they come in the house the second, third, fourth time, they're like, "Oh, I never noticed that. That's a really cool thing."
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk about my lights? The light switches.
Oh my gosh. Guys, here's the challenge. Is that, I mean, I want to do, I want to do really cool stuff too. But also, if everything is weird and custom in the house and handmade.
It's weird and custom. It's saving us wire.
I'm just talking about it in general.
Okay.
I mean, there was a point when you were talking about like hand making every single door in the building.
Well, that was a long time ago before I realized how long that would take.
Yeah, so these are the conversations we have, right? Is like, how unique do we want to make it?
Well, I can't make the doors because I don't have a workshop and like the equipment to do that.
Right.
But what I can do is make little fairy doors to cover outlets. You know what else I could do? Here's the latest argument. Can I tell them about our argument on our lights?
Fine.
How many people hate to see a light switch on a wall? So many people. Look at all of the hands that just went up. All of them
looked at a light switch on a wall.
All of them just put up their hands and they're like, yeah, I hate light switches too. I'm with you. Here's another solution. Because our power is running up in the ceiling and then dropping down, to save us wire, we could just put a toggle and a really cool custom chain thing to pull and light.
I've told you I'm not opposed to the idea of doing it, but I don't want it everywhere.
I do. Think about how much wire it would save. And you don't have that ugly thing on the wall. I mean, we can just think about it, right?
We can think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's at least three or four areas that I really want the pull switch, just because I can imagine how I'm gonna do it, and it's like memories that we had. Remember all those press pennies? We could make a chain out of all of our memories of press pennies from traveling, and turn on the lights in the hallway.
Here's my overly practical brain, and I'm just imagining the dogs jumping up and grabbing them all the time.
It's high enough.
Well, then what if we've got a little toddler running around and they can't reach the light switch?
We'll pull it for the little toddler.
What if you get some really energetic small children and they like jump and try to swing on it?
Well, then we'll say, "Oh, you're so cute. Don't
You
do that
just
again."
broke our light switch. Great.
We can have a very cool custom latch that the chain could hook up to keep out of said toddler's
Guys,
hands.
this is an ongoing discussion, and we'll see how it shakes out.
At least in the hallway, that would be really cool, right?
It could be cool in the hallway.
Because then when you turn the light on with the dangly switch made out of press pennies, and then you're like, oh, I need to plug something in the hallway. You open the fairy door. I'm telling you, it'd be really cool.
Uh-oh, I got bad news.
Oh, no, what?
Someone said, as a firefighter, the fairy door for electrical is a tad worrying. Cute
Why?
idea, though, because you would be covering
What
the
does it
outlets.
matter if you cover an outlet?
Because if there's a problem, it would be even more combustible and like hard to get to if there was a problem. I don't know.
Do outlets just randomly catch on
I mean,
fire?
I hope not. Hope we do it
If
right.
you wire it right. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And it's a little door, like on a little tiny hinge, so you could leave it cracked. A little cracked door.
Okay. You're pushing me off the screen here. Okay. All right. Someone had a good question. Wait, I lost it. Oh gosh, what did I just see?
Drawing spot?
Yes. Could you have a drawing for a spot?
What does that mean? A
They-
drawing for a
For
spot?
a free spot at the workshop.
Oh,
I think we could totally do
I
that.
was thinking like an actual drawing, and I'm like, I'm so confused on what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will have to think. I don't know that we can do it right this second, but we could think about that for sure. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Give away a day.
That's a great idea. Who said
Yeah.
that? Who said that?
That was Rue Monroe.
Oh, Monroe. I love that name.
Good idea. Good idea. How many courses high will the house be? We get asked this a lot, so let's go over it again. It's going to be a pitched roof. The center circle will be higher than the outside circle. We're going for, I think, what did you say?
13 feet.
Well, but the pitch was
a 1.5.
1.5 12 to 212 pitch. Yeah, so that means that the inside circle, the smallest one, is going to be almost 13 feet tall.
Yeah, I think it's just under 13. And the outside of the living room is the shortest wall, and that's at 9 foot.
Right. So it'll still be plenty of headroom even on the lowest wall. And that wall that we just put those windows in, it
Has
is
almost
the furthest wall out. So like all the bedroom walls, because that circle is further in, will actually be
almost 10 feet.
Yeah, so the inside of the bedroom walls are going to be plenty tall. The hallway is going to be really cool because it's going to be super tall on one side.
And tall windows.
Yeah.
And tall niches.
Tall niches. So we're looking at, we've done the math, and it's like, since each circle is a different height, it's hard to say exactly how many courses we have left. But roughly, we're looking at around 30 to 35 courses total.
Well,
yeah.
Well, you can't really say total, because that would be like the measurement for the inside of the wall. The outside is shorter. Each bag is about 5 inches, so you can do the math.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can't really say we have this many courses left because we're going to finish the outside wall before we finish the inside wall. Stuff like that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh. YouTube just always scrolls the comments where I don't want them to scroll to. Someone was asking, oh, I lost it.
Is there any more questions as you're just rolling through it?
I'm trying to find them. Can we have a drawing for a spot? Yes. Will we have a second story level on the home?
No.
No. Way too big. You don't want to go that high with bags. That would probably not be very safe. Do we mill the large pieces of wood that will go above the windows or arch doors?
There's no wood out here to mill.
Yeah. Well, there's mills in Tucson, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're bringing in wood from other places. It's not like there's massive oak trees.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of forests here. But they're asking if that adds to the cost, and for sure,
Absolutely.
yeah. And we've done it a bunch of different ways, right? We've taken like 6x6s, we've taken 2x4s and like made really cheap kind of garbagey ones for things that didn't really matter, and just like screwed a bunch of stuff together to create that lintel over the top, right? But yeah, the earth bags are cheap. It's all the windows and the doors and all that stuff that really ends up adding like to the full cost of the project.
I think the most expensive parts of this build are definitely going to be the floor and the roof.
Yeah.
Concrete, we just had Wilcox out yesterday to like go over and get a quote.
Yeah, we're trying to get like a for real quote on the floor so we can figure out exactly when we're doing it.
But I did love his suggestion of doing it in sections.
Might do it in sections, which would make things work a little better potentially, and we could start working on it. That would be nice. Yeah. Oh, someone asked, sorry, we're going to jump back to the Hyperadobe Workshop. Somebody asked if there was a place to camp. Not here. Not on our property, but when you sign up, we do send you a list of links to hotels, Airbnbs, campgrounds, and boondocking spots that are all within 15 to 40 minutes of our location. So there's a lot of options for that here, and in November, all those campgrounds and stuff should be open. They shut down in the summer because it's just
a lot of people camped last workshop.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Nearby.
Yep.
So yeah, there's plenty of camping available.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a lot of Airbnbs out in this area. Like, there's a lot of options for sure. Yeah, so it shouldn't be a problem finding a place to stay. Let's see. We need somebody doing this for us.
I know, we need another person. Just make the kids. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, you never know what people are gonna say, and do we want kids reading mean things?
Yeah,
from
that's
people?
true. It's true. Remote control light fixtures. I mean, I might do something nerdy like that, but you're still gonna want a hangy thing, aren't you?
How about we compromise? I can have the hanging thing, and you can control the lights from your phone if you want.
So you'll pull it, and I'll be like,
yeah.
And then you'll pull it, and I'll be like.
Yeah, but remember, it only pulls so many times.
That's
so
what your
you
dad
can't...
says, yeah. That's what every dad says, right? It's like it only works so many times.
Did your dad say that too?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I've said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because really, I mean, it only works so many times. Then I got to replace it. I don't want to replace it.
It's very much a
I don't even know
thing.
what we're talking about.
I don't either. Light switches.
Let's see. How are we planning to get power to the outlets in the roundhouse? Good question. Different ways, depending on different locations. Most of our outlets are going to be in framed walls that we build later, and so they're going to drop down from the ceiling through the framed walls. But obviously, you have seen us install these boxes into earthbag walls, which means you can't. I mean, you can drop down, but then you have, a wire that you have to kind of like notch out, or you have to plaster over.
And you have to remember not to like screw into that area.
Yeah.
If you want to hang something.
Yeah. So the best way to do, I mean, I'm still kind of thinking about it. There's a few different ways. The main way is just to run it sort of in the crack of the bag as much as possible, so that it's not sticking out when you plaster it. You're not having these like weird bumps and stuff like that. I think we might end up going under like the concrete pad for some of it, and then coming up into it where we need to, depending on the location. It just depends on where it is. And then some places we're going to be like building cabinets, and we know we're going to be building things there, and we can still drop down from the ceiling, but it doesn't matter if it's up against the earthbag wall because it'll be hidden by a cabinet. Does that answer the questions? Why are you looking at me like that?
I just wasn't really paying attention.
I zoned.
I really zoned out because I'm like, yep.
Oh, here's a good question from Scott. He says, is light pollution something you are aware of in the desert? Do you like it dark? Yeah.
Yes, we like it
This
dark.
is a, what do they call it?
A night sky preservation.
Night sky preservation area. And so there are actual like code rules when you're building of the lights. Like
your lights aren't supposed to point up at all.
Nope.
And they're not supposed to be over a certain brightness.
It's a really big bumblebee. Hi, buddy. Okay.
Wow, it's huge. Why is it so big? Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Yes, lights aren't supposed to be pointed up, and they are supposed to not be over a certain brightness.
Right, a certain lumens.
Not that anybody out here abides by that.
Well, if they don't, like, you can call and have somebody come out and look at it.
But here's the thing with that, because I know people who've called about other people's lights. They call because it's at night. Nobody is working at night, and nobody's gonna come and look at it and find somebody. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yes, we do really like it dark, and we will not be having a lot of lights outside.
No, everything we've got is kind of or like even the color. Like you're supposed to be doing like something really warm. It needs to point down. It shouldn't be bright. And yeah, because like we see the stars out here. Like we don't want that to change. I mean, it's one of the reasons we moved out here. Yeah. So when people when they put up spotlights and stuff, it's really frustrating, because it's like, come on, like, this is a beautiful night sky area. Like, let's not mess that up. Yeah. We like it dark. Naisha says, are we not doing a workshop this month? The meet and greet is next weekend, and 19th. It's already full, unfortunately.
Is that the 19th?
Yeah, the 19th. Yeah, and it's just, we're not workshopping, it's just a tour of the property. But yeah, that's already filled up.
And lunch.
And lunch, yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, there's no spots left.
Yeah, 30 people. All 30 filled up.
That's a lot of pizzas to make.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
Can you do Hyperadobe in other states? Yeah. Hyperadobe is done. I mean, earthbags are done all over the world, right?
The permitting process is going to be different depending on what county you're in. Some counties may not let you do it. You just have to check with your local government.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're doing the opt out, which means that we don't need engineered stamped plans to do our house, but we're hearing of more and more people working with architecture firms to try to get that done. Yeah, and
I
so
think that's like a long-term thing for us is once the house is done, we would love to like work with an engineer and a contractor
get this
and
like
get it
legitimized. Yeah.
well and like be able to sell plans, if
Yeah.
because I have a lot of cool ideas for
Yeah, you
little
could design
small
all these houses that we don't have to build.
well, I want to build some so
Yeah.
that you can see it,
Yeah.
2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
4, 5, whatever.
10, 12.
No more than 5.
Let's see. Is it worth doing a Hyperadobe workshop if you're building with earthbags? I don't understand that question. You mean, I don't know. maybe
Our earth bags are called Hyperadobe. Maybe they're thinking a different.
Super Adobe? I don't know. Moths are boneless. Can you explain your question? And maybe we'll see it later. The curve of the house will make things look cool. Well, you have to make custom furniture. Maybe.
Some things will definitely be custom, but not everything. In the kitchen, we're gonna actually, most of the kitchen is on a straight wall, and the parts that aren't is gonna be a framed out, really cool thing.
Yeah. The neat thing about this design, the roundhouse design, is that you do have those circular curved walls, but you also have a lot of flat and straight intersecting walls. So that was kind of the idea, is you're trying to get the best of both worlds of that organic shape, but also you still have a lot of flat walls where you can put traditional furniture up against. But yes, there are some places, like we talked about in the last video with our dining room table, where we may end up building a dining room table that actually curves to that outside wall.
I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like 2 big mesquite slabs
Yeah.
put together and curve like?
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
So we'll just, I mean, that's a long way away. It's hard to tell exactly how all that stuff will shake out, but somebody likes to build stuff, so I think
Fairy doors.
We'll be okay.
Also, in that hallway where I want the fairy doors, like, what are we going to be plugging up in there? Nothing. We're hardly ever going to use those outlets.
Are we still talking about fairy doors?
Yes,
oh
because
gosh. Good grief.
Just imagine.
It's an outlet. it's just an outlet.
Well, it could be cute.
You're not even gonna see it once it's in.
I'm gonna see it.
You're gonna just like focus on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna curse it every time I walk by that stupid outlet.
Okay. She was talking about Super Adobe versus Hyper.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so moths are boneless. We're gonna go back to your question. She says, or he says, I don't know who it is. Aren't the red bags Hyperadobe and the white bags Super Adobe? They're both earth bags. Hyperadobe earth bags are the red netted ones. Super Adobe earth bags are the white enclosed ones. 2 different things, technically.
Yeah.
They are.
So last workshop, we did the dome with Hayden and did Super Adobe. Now we're going to be working on the house for this workshop, Hyperadobe. Yeah,
so we'll just real quick, the main differences between the 2 are Super Adobe bags are made with a different material, and I always get them confused.
Polypropylene.
Is it polypropylene?
I think they're both polypropylene.
No, they're not. Polyethylene.
Is ours polyethylene?
I think so. Anyway, we have a whole thing about this somewhere. We'll link up. The Super Adobe bags are fully enclosed. They're a lot more slippery. They need barbed wire between each layer to lock it in so they don't move. Hyperadobe bags are different. They have the open mesh netting, and so when you lay a new layer on top of it, that mesh allows the material that's in the bag below it to lock into the new material above it, so you don't need the barbed wire. Also, these Hyperadobe bags are UV treated, so they don't break down in the sun, whereas Super Adobe bags are really bad about flaking off within a pretty short amount of time.
It's like 300 hours.
Yeah, they're not very UV. They don't handle the UV very well, so you kind of have to move faster, or you have to plaster as you go, or just really hope that it doesn't get messed up while you're building it. And there's some other Super Adobe bags are generally more expensive. It depends on where you get them. But otherwise, like the fill is usually pretty similar, and there's just different techniques. You can do the same kind of building that we're doing with Super Adobe. And if you're worried about earthquakes, Super Adobe with that bar is definitely more secure and something to think about. This cat. Did I tell you?
He's the sweetest.
I was getting a shower in our outdoor shower last night, and I was drying off, and this guy runs in here chasing a kangaroo rat. And so there's like a kangaroo rat like running around inside the shower, and I'm like jumping around, and he's like, ah, he's going crazy.
I wish I could have seen
I mean,
that.
good job. You're doing your job, but yeah, it was a little hectic.
Would have been funny.
When do we add the hurricane straps?
We need to have at least 5 bags from the roof line before we want to have at least 5 bags over hurricane straps, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah, and I mean, we may even go further down just because it's such a big roof.
Yeah.
The more weight, the better.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt anything.
No.
So, other than just like getting our
But
way.
we do need to decide if we're doing the same kind we usually do, or if we're going to do metal, or a combination of both. You know, we might.
Yeah.
Yummin.
Yummin's running into the tripod. Sorry. Let's see. Do you have to plan where the pictures will go on the wall? Sorta.
We're not having any pictures on the wall.
Everything will be custom made. All the picture frames will be custom.
I'm going to etch pictures into the plaster.
Right. Hey, will you stop? Oh my gosh, you're just shaking everything. Yeah, so what you want to do as you get higher up is definitely put in more cleats just all over the place so that you have anchor points to mount things to. If you don't need it, you cover it up and it's fine, but it's probably a good idea to have it in there. Because let's talk about in the shed where you want to keep adding hooks to the walls and how you almost hit an electrical wire.
I could have sworn there was not a wire there.
This is why we don't like doing the wires on the bags, because yeah, I mean, once you plaster it.
So a good idea, if you have to run the wire down, do it like right next to a door frame or a window frame, instead of like in the center of a wall. That way you're not going to be tempted to like.
Yeah, we did it real sloppy with the shed. We were just, you know,
it was
we
the
didn't know
first
what
thing
we were
we ever
doing,
did.
and we were trying to save wire, and yeah. What's the matter, buddy?
Can't get comfy. Here, Google it with Cloud.
Let's see. Have we taken any ideas from Earthship Designs?
I mean, the whole passive solar thing is from Earthship Design.
Yeah, and all those windows on that south wall are gonna, they're there with that in mind.
They're gonna heat up the floor.
Yeah, to help warm, because that room is by far the biggest room, and it's gonna be the hardest to keep temperature controlled, and so hopefully.
Not with my rocket mass stove.
But with all those windows facing south, you know, in the winter, that should help keep that area a little bit warmer during the day.
Masonry heater. I keep calling it a rocket mass. It's a masonry heater.
Okay, yeah. How do you learn about Hyperadobe homes?
You come to a workshop.
We're here. We have lots of videos. To be honest, there's not a lot out there. Like, we're kind of learning this, and we're trying to document as much as we can, just because Super Adobe has so much more research and time behind it. I mean, how long has Cal Earth been around? 30 years?
I think.
40, 50? We're in the 2020s.
I know.
The 2020s, 20, how do you say it? We're older than we think. And yeah, so it's been around a lot longer. They've got like scientific literature on it and stuff. And Hyperadobe, at this point, it's just like
not been tested.
A lot of people out here in the desert just throwing dirt in bags, and it's very Wild West.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like we're just trying to share everything
That we
we've
learn.
learned.
Like, we're still learning as we go. There's several times where we've, oh, this is a better way to do it, you know?
Yeah. And there's lots to learn from Super Adobe too. Like when Hayden came, like there's a few things we changed on the house, specifically in the foundation. You know, this stuff that you learn after more than like a year with a building. Like once you see it in action for 10 years or 15 years, like you start to see where those weak points might be. So yeah, you know, we we put together a pretty in-depth video, the Hyperadobe guide, and then we did a follow-up answering a lot more questions. Those would be the two places I would start, and I'll try to, you know, link them up here if you come back and watch it later. But also, yeah, come to the workshop. Learn how to build with Hyperadobe. Like, there's not a lot else out there at the moment. I'm not saying we've like cornered the market or something, but there's just not a lot of people doing it, and so
I mean, there's definitely a lot of people out here
well,
doing,
they're doing
it, but not documenting
not
it.
teaching. Yeah, for sure. Yep. We're still talking about niches. You were right. I'm going to say it publicly on the interwebs. You were right.
Thank you. Tell me again.
You were right.
Say it like you mean it.
You were right.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. Okay. Let's see. What does that mean?
What?
Who is the cheese and who is the co-cheese in your couple? I don't get it. Are we talking about Cochise County? Or are we talking about goofballs? Who's the? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Are we gonna sell our Cochise goat cheese?
Oh, such a good name.
Maybe one day. Don't steal it from us. We need to get that website.
Yeah.
Cochise goat cheese.
Do we sell the Hyperadobe bags? Sometimes we'll do bulk orders for people locally, but you can always get them from Vulm companies.
It's called Jeremiah.
Call Jeremiah. We'll put up a link in the description here.
Oh no.
Cat's going after something. Yeah, they ship them anywhere. I don't know if they ship overseas though.
Not yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
Aw,
What is it?
Lizard.
Oh no.
It's so sad.
Have we thought about putting solar sails for shading while building at mixing stations? So as the walls get higher, we've definitely thought about stringing up shades from wall to wall as we put in cleat and anchor points for shade. Shading the work area, though, is a lot more difficult.
Constantly moving
It's,
when we're out here.
well, even the mixing area, like there's just nothing over there to mount to.
Yeah, and we're getting close to like windy time and
Windy season, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Depending on how long we're building, we could put in some posts and put up some shade sails. Maybe.
it's just one more day
It's just one more thing to
to
get
install
distracted on.
something else.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Stop notifying me, phone. I'm busy. Hold on. Sorry, I'm almost there. Okay, flash flood risk. Will we build any protective berms to shield the house? So,
We
a
did.
couple of things. First, we raised the foundation of the house.
Yeah.
So we're up at least a foot on the low side.
Yeah.
And so that's like the first thing. And that's actually a thing that got passed recently for new builds.
Is it a requirement?
I think it might be.
I know that they tried to make it one, but I didn't know if it passed.
I don't know. There's some confusion about it.
I think it's a
but
good idea either way.
It all had to do with insurance and flooding and flash floods, and they're trying to make sure everybody builds up a little bit for when we get our monsoon sheet flooding type stuff. The berm and soil that we did install, the big one, that was specifically installed right behind the house, and so it will protect the house, and it will overflow to the side and around on purpose to protect it. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think we're planning on doing anything additional other than, you know, with our foundation, we did do that vapor barrier and the rubble trench so that water will drain down in the rocks, and the lower bags are wrapped in plastic. So
But water should never even get to the foundation of the house once the roof is up.
No.
And like,
no, we're not in a flood zone.
No.
And we've taken, you know, those other precautions. So I don't think there's anything else we'll be doing.
and eventually there will be more berms and
Well, that's
swell
true.
up
Yeah,
the way,
yeah.
and
There will be more
eventually,
later, but
not until we have our own tractor.
yeah.
When's that? We're 4 years into our 10-year plan, so I have 6 more years. 6 more years to find a tractor.
Oh man, here's an interesting one. What one thing would you consider doing differently with all that you've learned?
With the house specific or just being out here?
Probably just being out here. I would say being out here, we should have just immediately put a cover over the Airstream and installed an outdoor shower and built a solar system.
That should have been the first 3 things. Shade.
And we should have put the solar system in something that didn't take 8 months to build. I mean, we were learning how to build Hyperadobe, and we love the solar shed. But I think functionally, if you're trying to get to where you're living on the property and building, we should have tried
Just
to
build
make
like
it
a
a little
small
more
battery
comfortable,
house.
a little bit quicker. Yeah, we should have built got a container. Well, the containers were a problem because of COVID.
Yeah,
that
they
time.
were so expensive.
They were so expensive, so it didn't make sense. But yeah, I think cover on over the
Cover
Airstream,
for-
mini split in the Airstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the solar system not in an earthbag building.
And an outdoor shower. Definitely
outdoor
water storage.
Yeah.
Like a big tank for water, because there was that point, like I think as soon as we got out here, we got this, like a water tank,
Yeah.
water tank.
That was the first thing we did. Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're constantly
Yeah.
spending time going back and forth to water.
We did do that part right. We got the
Yeah.
water tank. Yeah. When are we writing our book on Hyperadobe? It's gonna be
I
a
don't
long
want to write a book
time.
about Hyperadobe. I do want to write a book about building a house, though.
Yeah.
As a family, like more for us. I don't really care
You'll
if anybody
build
else
the inspirational storybook
You'll
version,
build the
and
nerdy.
I'll build the technical nerdy version.
wants it. Okay.
Like 10 years from now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what if I could have the front of the book and you could have the back of the book? So, like, if people
Ooh,
wanted to do just the
Double.
pretty
Yeah.
stuff and then
I
you
like
do
that.
the nerdy.
Oh, the question was who's the boss and who's the co-boss. I don't understand the cheese part of it. Guys,
I don't know.
we are a team, all right? There's no boss or co-boss. Obviously, we just work together.
We're both boss babes. Aren't we?
I'll take that title. Yeah, I'll accept that title.
Yeah, we very much work together. But there are things that I want that I don't know if I want to compromise on.
That's what bossing is.
We're still talking about it.
Yeah.
It's still up for discussion.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said, I meant, how did you learn to Hyperadobe? We just did it.
Well, we went to a friend who was making his own house out of Hyperadobe clay.
Mhm.
And he showed us what he was doing and told us what he did, and then we built our shed.
And also, like, we studied Super Adobe Earthbag building techniques. We got the book, like, we read through, went through the Cal Earth course. Like, we knew how to build in general with Earthbags. We just had to modify it for Hyperadobe stuff.
Yeah, talking to Clay was great. Like,
Yeah.
he has built,
Pioneer, that guy.
yeah, in so many ways.
So many ways.
He's a genius.
Yeah. Let's see. Are hornets a problem here?
We have a lot of hornets, but they don't seem to bother us. Like, anytime we're pouring water, they come and drink
Just
the
hang
water.
out.
And
Yeah.
I've never been stung by one. They don't seem aggressive. They did make nests up on the shed that we had to take down.
Yeah. When I had to put the Wi-Fi antenna
Yeah.
up, they were totally in the way. And we do have swarms of killer bees that sometimes fly overhead, just
It
randomly.
hasn't happened very much this year. Only
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times.
But in general, the bees are not a problem here. Yeah.
What is a problem is the ants that crawl up your pant legs and wait to bite you until they're
Ants
in
are
the worst spot possible. And then your leg swells up for a week.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
Fire ants are the worst. Or
It's
what-
harvester ants.
harvester ants.
Yeah, harvester ants. They're awful.
Who picks the music? We all pick the music.
Also, guys, editing. It's not just Jonathan.
No, we both edit.
No,
Yeah.
I edit too.
I would love to run like a contest and see if people can figure out who edited what.
Oh, we should.
Yeah.
Who do you think edited the last video?
Here's the thing though, we both take passes at stuff. So a lot of times
That's
like
true.
I'll do like a full pass and you'll come in and tweak it, or you do a full pass and I'll come in and like,
Make it special.
no, I'll just tighten it up a little bit. Like we both, like editing is hard. Like you got to be a really ruthless editor for YouTube, and sometimes it's hard to let that go, and sometimes you need somebody else to just.
But I'm like, line that up with
I
this
know,
music.
I
Do
know.
not mess that up.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like, I'm getting bored watching the shot. I gotta cut it, and so yeah, it's
as long as you keep my. Guys, did you notice on the last video
yeah,
the hammer lineup?
It was good.
Edit.
It was really good.
Guess who edited that?
You did.
I edited that video. Everybody keeps saying, Jonathan, you do such a good job picking out the music and editing video. Well, guess what? It's not just him. Although you do all the long videos.
The nerdy ones,
cannot.
yeah.
No, even just the like full builds, because you.
The more educational ones, yeah.
Here's what I love about you. One of the things. You are able to take a massive thing and make it make sense in little sections.
Yeah,
I cannot do that.
Right, yeah.
I look at a big thing and I'm like, nope. Nope. It either makes sense or it doesn't.
Right,
Tough luck.
Yeah.
But you are able to like make everything make sense out of a really big idea.
Thank you.
You're very special.
Oh.
Aww.
You're really good at finding like the humanity in the things that were like the emotion in it. Like you are really good at finding like the right feel for the video. Yeah, the music.
That's like my favorite part.
She's really good at picking music.
Also, we edit completely different. One time, Jonathan was like, I got everything in the timeline for you. You just go and no, that's not how I edit. And so it was so much more work for me to go through that.
It depends on what you're editing, right?
Nope.
Like, for me, if it's like here's what we did in a day. It's just chronological.
Do you drop everything in the timeline?
Yeah, and then I just cut it down.
No.
That's what I do.
I do it from the time you talk to the time you talk. Pick the music, edit that whole section, and then because you don't know what the feel is until you pick the first song.
Okay. Yeah, see, it's funny how we do it different. Yeah. Anyway, we make a good team.
We both do it.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I think someone's math is wrong. Hold on. Someone says a 9-foot Hyperadobe wall would require 22 courses if it's 5 inches tall. I don't think that's right.
Well, 22 courses from floor level. Remember that we're four courses in ground. So really what we're doing is we're counting from the ground. So anyway,
I don't know.
just
You
math
might need to do that math again because we've done the math a lot and that doesn't sound right.
No, that is right for the outside wall. It's only a little over 20 bags. Well, from the floor, 20 bags.
Maybe.
But we're counting from underground, so it's more confusing.
Yeah. It's a lot of bags. It's a lot of
bags and a lot of dirt. Guys, do you know that each course that we put on is 20 tons? That means the kids have shoveled every course 20 tons. The kids have also wheelbarrowed 20 tons. They've also scooped out with a hand scoop 20 tons.
Yeah.
Jonathan has tamped 20 tons like it's a lot of physical work.
Yeah. Someone was saying, we were just talking about Clay. He's asking about the guy that we went to visit his massive Hyperadobe house, how he's doing. He's got his roof on, so he's moving. He's moving. I don't think he's moved in yet, but he's.
No, I think there's a lot left to do on the inside.
Yeah,
but
he's got. I think they're plastering, right? They're working on the outside.
I think they're still going back and forth on how they're doing the outside.
Kind of like us, experimenting with the plaster and trying to find what actually works in this crazy.
There's so many people that have tried to do like the natural plaster out here, and I've not seen a single person do it where it stays on.
Yeah.
Although there is somebody out here that did a straw bale house, and evidently his plaster is. I want to go see it. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name because he wouldn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
But his house is like supposed to be.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
So I want to go see that.
We will eventually. Guys, we got to talk about the Hyperadobe Workshop.
Guys,
we got to wrap this up because we got to go do stuff. Hyperadobe Workshop, you should come. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to build Hyperadobe bags on our house, on our roundhouse. You're going to help us build our house.
We might be at a dangerous height, so just keep that in mind. But even if you don't want to be up on a wall, we'll have scaffolding, we'll have stools to stand on. We'll have other jobs that if you don't like being on those things,
Right.
there's
You can
plenty of
always
other things.
lift the bucket up to the person that's up high.
Yeah, or do the mixing, or there's always something to do.
Yeah, lots of jobs. It's what we say, the 9th through the 15th. There are 10 spots open to come the whole week, all 7 days, right? And then there are 5 additional spots open each day. And so if you want to come,
One or 2 days.
We had somebody last time came like the first day and then the last day,
wanted to
and
see
then
it
see the
finish,
progress. Yeah. And so you can do something like that. And delicious food and talks and educational stuff. Some afternoons we'll still be laying bags, but we'll try to find a good balance of teaching you hands-on, teaching you in like brain stuff.
We're gonna teach brain.
We're gonna teach your brain stuff. You know what I mean. We'll sit down and we'll talk about things, educational talks. We'll do some tours and we'll actually get hands-on for educational stuff too. And like you said, we might even do a field trip.
I think we should definitely do a field trip. At least one, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Because I can think of 2 places that I would love to take people, and they're close.
Yeah.
Also, if you sign up for the workshop, please remember, this is so much work. You are going to be sweating. You are going to be exhausted. You are going to be sore.
Yep.
Just keep that in mind. Oh my gosh, it's back. Why is it? I mean, it probably won't hurt you. But it's so loud. Stop moving and it will.
Cloud's laying over here. He's like, what's going on? What are y'all doing? Yeah.
Do you want to come to the workshop?
You should come to the workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun. Great time of year.
Great food.
Great food. Good company. Seriously though, the community aspect of it is going to be really, really cool. Like you're going to make new friends and it's going to be cool.
It's going to be fun.
So yeah, tinyshinyhome.com/Hyperadobe-workshop. Again, the link is in the description. It's kind of hard to type out. But yeah, we hope you guys come. We have lots of stuff coming up. Some crazy things are happening here. Next Saturday, or I guess this coming Saturday, you're going to see us install those window forms that you saw in the background of the live. And we're breaking our rule of building all the walls up at the same time. So should be fun. Should be fun. Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
It was your idea. 100% your idea.
It's a good idea though.
Breaking the rules.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, friends, we've been on here longer than normal.
What time is it?
We've been on here over an hour.
We have 10 minutes. We got to get going.
We got to get going. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us this morning. It was good to see you all. We'll see you on Saturday with a new video.
Wouldn't it be so much cooler if we could actually see the people?
And you can come to the workshop.
I mean, like
and
on the
we'll
video.
see you. Yeah.
I don't know, but like a Zoom, but YouTube Live.
Can you imagine?
We
There's
see
there's
500
like
people.
almost 600 people right now.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That
though?
would be crazy.
We'll figure out how to make that happen.
Yeah.
As long as people are nice. Guys, be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice to somebody today.
I was gonna say that person's name, but I won't.
Be nice to people today, guys.
All right,
Tell someone you love them.
guys, have a good rest of your week.
Hey, listen, I didn't complain the rest of the night.
That was good. You did good.
Goodbye.
Bye.